So, I know, I'm inviting the snarky comments when I'm about to say this, but this week I welcome them all. Really, truly I do. Because Yoru is unredeemable as of this point in Chainsaw Man. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because it revolves around how after this chapter, Denji knows something he's known about plenty of women before him. She's not a good person. She's a devil, but hey, at least she's cute, you know? I mean, become the first to be notified when I release a Chainsaw Man chapter reaction or essay/theory video. And when you know it, it's the perfect time to get subscribed as we are 112 subscribers away from the mythical 10,000 sub milestone. We can get it this week. We can get it today if everyone right now hits that subscribe button. Before we get into this awfulness that is Yoru, I think that there is something about this chapter that just made me laugh, and it's the new comedy duo of the Falling Devil and Fami? Well, yeah, I was not expecting that one, as I'm sure most people weren't either, but then again, it's actually not the first time that at least the Falling Devil had said something wildly out of pocket. She really honestly has become one of the most memorable templates in Chainsaw Man history at this point. Fami, on the other hand, is a bit ridiculous if you ask me. She's like a cross between Kobeni and Suletta from Gundam Witch of Mercury, and I'm just every step I'm here for it every step of the way. Her idea of causing terror, get this, is to pick up rocks off the crowd and just throw it at people. Like, you can't make this up, people. I'd laugh, but I'm just floored. Imagine being such a girl failure that your idea of plunging humanity into terror is to throw rocks at kids and adults. It's really funny though, but I wonder if they just like what would happen if they like amuse her like she's some annoying kid. Like, what would happen? Really? Like, if Falling wasn't there to supervise and they just kind of trust her on her word, I actually think that she is brain dead enough to do something like that. Like, I am here for it every step of the way. Like, I spit out my coffee almost when she threw that rock at that kid, and that mother got angry. By the way, that was a pretty cute mom at her, and she looks at her and just gets scared of the mom. Like, I'm just, oh my God, Fujimoto, please. Please, for the love of God, just never stop. Never freaking stop. Then, in an hilarious moment, and easily another legendary Falling moment at that, the aforementioned pops up, presses Fami's cheekies, and says, "You silly goose, that's anger, not terror." This reminded me so much of how campy the guards talk in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, or really just everyone. Like the infamous, "Stop! You violated the law!" Like, bro, the Falling Devil is such an Elder Scrolls character. I can't even anymore. She's also super cute and funny too, which is why I think Falling has such staying power and is genuinely one of the most universally agreed upon to be like a beloved addition to the Chainsaw Man story. That's saying something, because part 2 thus far has been fairly polarizing. Sometimes I've actively talked to my therapist all the time just about how I think Fujimoto made the Falling Devil to start a meme template. And honestly, I think he's kind of cooking. But I have a feeling that for whatever Falling has cooked up, pun intended, we're probably not going to feel good about our love for her, because I think she's just going to absolutely slaughter these poor fools in the coming chapters. And if it was me, I would have ran the moment I see anything resembling a Chainsaw Man character. Like, bro, don't you read week to week? Now, let's get into the showdown between fake Chainsaw Man and the real Chainsaw Man, Dennis. And quickly, remember to join our Discord if you want more Chainsaw Man, Dawn to Dawn, and weekly anime discussion. But out of the way, Denji's response to fake Saul, to telling him that he made a mistake by doing any of this, is to basically just stand there and question him. And I love the earnest nature of Denji. He's just true to himself, and I feel like Fujimoto has perfected the art to write his character. His dialogue really feels like a natural reaction to obvious observations, which are mostly just common sense kind of things, right? But that's what's great about it. Denji, in his own way, is like this wise sage out here just being like real AF. But he's also got good reaction time as he is blasted with a wave of people being thrown in his direction. This is the falling devil activating her fear of falling, meaning that whatever she did caused a lot of terror. And amongst the people now falling, Denji grabs onto a woman and then a woman and children crossing sign. So I actually thought this was a really funny joke. The joke here is that, and yes, this is how simple-minded Denji is, by the way. He sees that sign, and that is in an essence saying, hey, be respectful and courteous to the more easily vulnerable, like women and children. And seeing that, you can infer that Denji is doing this because the sign is justifying him saving a woman. This was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And shows how clever and subtle some of these jokes that Fujimoto is writing up. And Denji all but confirms that his intentions were just that. He saved a woman first because she's a woman. It's not any deeper than that. And that's what makes it such a great joke and a great moment. Denji is just being himself and not at all being ashamed. This is because Denji has zero shame. He will embarrass himself time and time again and do the most unhinged of things just because he doesn't give two craps about what anyone thinks. Simple as that. I mean, look at how he grew up. But Denji knows he's in trouble, and so he calls upon his new girlfriend, Yoru, the psycho, to help. And Jesus, I just love the way Fujimoto draws Yoru's facials. She perks up and smirks, realizing that in this moment, we have Chainsaw Man, the real one, begging for her help. This entire situation is really playing into Yoru's most vile impulses of, well, war. And her face shows it all. And that's when she just shoots the arm off the woman, plummeting her to her demise and ultimate doom. And I've noticed that every now and again, and it's become more and more regular, but Fujimoto seems to always make sure to remind us from time to time that Yoru really isn't a good person. And that's obvious, right? I mean, every person in Chainsaw Man typically is heavily flawed, and usually these are people you don't want to be around, but they're real people nonetheless. But Yoru, there's a little bit of a difference with the tone that he is portraying Yoru with. It feels as if she is being propped up more and more as of late as an antagonist that is almost kind of keeping Asa Mitaka as a sort of indirect prisoner. I think this just further cements what Asa said before about Yoru, that she is a vile woman that is up to no good. And seeing her laugh and go on about what she did, she's woken Denji up to the reality of who she really is, which is funny because he knew she was a bad person. He even called out that he was going to get screwed by her, and he did. But a development for Denji is a development for Denji at the end of the day. He finally realizes that, yeah, this is another cute girl, but she's a devil all along, as Yoru looks at Chainsaw Man like he's some delicious snack, savoring and relishing in the moment as she says, I'm the only one, I'm the only woman you need, aren't I? And it's true to a certain degree. I mean, you know, just to dive into this, Asa and Denji are so compatible, and I can honestly make an entire video about just breaking down every small detail. But the same cannot be said for Yoru. I think Denji is compatible with women who are domineering. That's obvious because Denji is essentially a gigantic Subway sandwich, but I don't think the toxicity is good for Denji, and that's where he keeps faltering. In fact, like, imagine this. Asa's character arc just resolves with her finding her inner strengths, right? But how that is shown and resolved is Asa realizing that she's just a dominant woman who wears the pants in the relationship and takes charge. Basically, becomes a girl boss instead of a girl failure. And you can literally just show this with Asa telling Denji he's going to, like, collar him and that he owns him in every way, not Yoru. I mean, is that not the most Chainsaw Man coded theory you've ever heard? Asami Taka the dominatrix and Denji the dog. It works. Book it, Triple H. But what I think is clear is that Denji has woken up to who Yoru is and will now change his entire outlook on how he handles her going forward. I also think that whatever happens next will define where Yoru's character is going next. Does she face off against the Falling Devil and destroy her? If she is able to kill Falling or defeat her, what does that mean? I think that means Yoru probably will slowly begin to become more and more of an antagonist. And if she fails, well, I just think the same thing's gonna happen, probably just at a slower pace. We'll just have to see, but I am very interested in how Denji will treat Yoru and vice versa moving forward. Will Denji actually take Asa's side now? Join my Discord, subscribe to my channel, and drop a like. The bi-weekly devil is deader than dead. He's forgotten and never to show up again. I'll see you guys next Tuesday.